The voting process continues across Russia, and the euphoria amongst voters in Donbass is still the same as they continue to exercise their civic rights in the presidential election. It represents a great milestone for them, and the hope is high for a better tomorrow. The head of the DPR, Denis Pushilin, and others in the region cast their ballots for the first time in 10 years since the DPR and LPR became independent. According to Saturday's reports, vote turnout in the DPR, including preliminary votes, now stands at 69.28%. For you media visited 3 polling stations, including Mangush, Ozev, and Primorsky in the DPR.
You can see for you media right here in Donbass, and we are in Uzurfa. This is the second day of the election, and of course this is a polling station you can see behind me. And one thing to note, it is not just about election, but of course it is an atmosphere of high euphoria as the people of the Donbass are so excited, voting for the first time in history. It should be noted that this is their first presidential elections in years.
The people of the Donbass are voting for the very first time in years as the election is unfolding in an atmosphere of peace and security, ensuring total transparency in the conduct of the election process. This year's elections has 4 contenders, 3 belonging to a political party. Main challenger Vladimir Putin is running as an independent candidate. Unlike other countries known to have one voting day, the Russian Federation, under the auspices of the Central Electoral Commission, during the COVID time, mandated the multiple-day voting process, which was highly welcomed by a majority of Russians, given its advantages. It is worthy of note that if no candidate receives more than half of the vote cast, a second day would take place exactly 3 weeks later. The polls that began on March 15 and is expected to conclude on March 17 remains historic, as the outcome will determine the fate of the Russian Federation. The next president will have to defend the sovereignty of the country from infringements coming largely from a collective West, and it is the 8 elections in modern-day Russia, and President Putin, largely loved by Russians for defending the values of the country, is one of the main contenders in the polls.